We remember yet what the visitors to these lands told us, and our elders tell us quite eloquently that as long as the rivers flow and the grass is green and the sun rises red, so shall the commitments of these visitors to us remain alive. They brought us wood to our fire, and they said, you will never be cold. You will always be provided with that wood for warmth. That's the tax we will pay to you. They give us gifts, they give us oxen, they give us ammunition in exchange for some basic fundamental nationhood rights, including the right to not tax another nation. Nowhere is that going to be happening in our lands, where another foreign government is going to be taxing in these lands. We will not any longer stand idle. My brothers and my relatives today in Garden River First Nation have blocked the Trans-Canada Highway. There are three blockades. There are three blockades heading into Sault Ste. Marie today for 1 hour, and the transports are lined up for miles. That's just a taste, folks. Canada, honor your treaty obligations. Honor your obligations to every one of us, including our right to tax exemption. We expect that those are honored, and if you don't honor those, it's going to get a lot louder. There will be several 100,000 of us doing similar actions as per our strategies that we discussed this week as chiefs here on behalf of our people right across the province. It's going to be out in the public very shortly. The strategy, I know it will be. It isn't going to be able to be kept quiet very long, so government be aware. There will be 132 fires to put out like these. And we encourage all of you to coordinate and communicate with your communities and support whatever's happening, and go to whatever events you can go to in support of our assertions of our rights. So, on behalf of our people in Batchewana First Nation, we thank you for standing with us, and we encourage you to continue to remind the Crown of our original alliance as allies to them. And in this area, this would probably be American territory if it wasn't for our warriors standing with them. And as an ally with the Crown, we expect all of our commitments on the behalf of the federal government to be honored, including that exemption and others. Our right to housing, our right to education, in exchange for all of this stuff they're enjoying here. And like Chief Gilbert said, I'll help you honor your obligations to us. No HST. Migas.
Yes, block the road. By all means, support the action that's taken.
Put out the Olympic torch!
Yeah. This week, the discussion that's taken place is a reminder to people that no matter what, we have always, as Indigenous people, come forward and have put solutions on the table. But when governments refuse to talk to us, when governments decide that we should not be in a place to have any authority, any jurisdiction within our own homelands, then that's the time for Ontario citizens to step forward. For Ontario citizens to step forward and say, we have a responsibility with the treaties that we signed. And tell your government that this has to stop. We need to teach our children together about the responsibilities in the public schools. And so that's something that Andrea Horvath can push in the House. Curriculum, so that people understand and know that everybody in Ontario has a treaty right, not just the Indigenous people. They have obligations to be able to take care of. And for all of us who stand here together today, we know in our hearts and in our spirits that we can make change. Every single one of us can make change in our lives and in the world around us. We don't have to wait for government to do something. Build our laws in our communities. Do the things we need to do. Challenge the system. Never allow anybody to be unquestioned when they take action like this government has today. They are accountable to everybody. We need to remind them on a regular basis. I want to thank everybody for coming out today. I'll give Roger a couple minutes here.
Thank you. I'll make this quick.
Gotta leave somehow. Might as well go out the road.
Ani Nishnabe, bonjour. From Mantigoshi. My name is Roger O'Bonsawin. My name is Kinyu. That was given to me by Joe Sylvester, my elder, who brought back an elder from Alberta for that ceremony. And he gave me a task as the eagle to watch high in the sky, and we saw that hawk today, and to watch what government is doing, and to protect the people from what the government is doing, to bring that message back. And I'm bringing that message back, but now I'm bringing it back to Queen's Park. This is a final attempt at termination and at our Aboriginal and treaty rights across Canada, both on and off reserve. There's no other way to put it. Once we lose this, we lose all our rights. And that's why I've been fighting since 1985 to protect those rights, and we've protected them. But at a big cost to many of our employees and many of us, at a very huge cost. More cost than the tax. And that's been Indian money, not given money from Canada. I refuse to accept any money from Canada because there's always strings attached. I know the organizations, the bank councils can't afford that, but we have to work towards making them self-sufficient so that we can be free from Canada totally, and we can set up our own structures where we can elect our bank councillors and our provincial organizations and our nationals. Every Indian in Canada who has that right to vote in those elections. And then we can be together. We can be together. And yes, we can get out of poverty. They have managed and controlled us for too long. And they do it through the organizations. The Chiefs of Ontario were the only organization that were prepared to help us. And they ran, Bocage ran, and he got defeated. Why? Because it was threatening to government what he was suggesting. That universal vote. It was threatening, but it was more threatening to us that it was refused. It's our right to fight back for our First Nations, but for our next generations. Across Turtle Island, and this is our last chance. I refuse to accept an apology from a minister, whether it's Harper or anybody else, until we fix the problem. And then maybe we can discuss it. So, we have to educate our people about a termination policy that is being carried out, and carried out by high levels of government. And you know, it's not the parliamentarians, it's the bureaucracy. And you know where it comes from? It comes from the man who negotiated an agreement on Section 35 and included the word existing in the clause at the last minute. So now it's up to us to say what existing means. It's up to us to go to courts and spend out our money to prove it. It's up to us to fight for it. They took away that right. And that man is now at the Supreme Court level. And the Supreme Court is against us. So it's not a legal battle. It's a political battle. To get